How do you read me now? Fire me, grid, Juliet, November 159er, 683. 12 guns, 2 rounds. AT delay in effect, target number November Alpha Bravo 260.
1st of August, 1985. The recent events in the world had caused an increased hostility between NATO and the Warsaw Pact. This caused an eerily silence across Europe. In response to this, West Germany deployed the 1st Panzer Brigade in the northern regions. The 12th Battalion was deployed closest to the border to East Germany. At this time, the 12th Battalion consisted of the 120th Logistical Company under the command of Bauer, the 121st Panzer Grenadier Company under the command of Kruger, the 122nd Panzer Grenadier Company under the command of Metzer, and the 123rd Panzer Company under the command of Stahlfaust. Kruger had been tasked with protecting a communications outpost near the East German border. With this idea, he deployed one of his platoons in order to protect the outpost and guard it. The rest of his company was deployed further to the west, encamped and resting. But at 0300 hours, the eerie silence that had been laying across Europe for the last few months broke, when the Soviet Spetsnaz forces were moving in. And after that incredibly long intro, we are at the game. This is the first game, and on the table we will have a Soviet Spetsnaz company. Now, this is in effect just motorized infantry without the motorized part. In the later reserve, they do have 2 Hinds. Otherwise, it's 2 platoons with PKM LMG teams, 4 AK-74 teams, 3 RPG teams. And a smaller unit with the 2 AK-74 teams and 3 RPG teams, and the company commander. For the West Germans, who are defending this game, they will start with 1 rifle platoon on the table, and the company commander. But the vehicles and 2 other Panzer Grenadier platoons will be in the late reserves, as they are encamped further to the west. As for the table, this is somewhat close to the East German border, so it's just open fields with some forests. Here is the objective, the communications outpost. It has been entrenched and prepared since its war preparations are on the way. The Soviet objective is quite simple to capture it. The West German objective is to hold it. Should be simple enough, and the Soviets have first turn. Night fighting is in effect until turn 3. Alright, back with the deployment. His company commander and the modder deployed in the back, whilst his Panzer Grenadier platoon deployed around the objective. And notice that there are 2 Milan teams, but they will be treated as rifle teams for this one. With a 6-inch deployment, the Soviets deployed 1 platoon over here with the company commander, a smaller platoon over here, and the last one over here. Soviets have the initiative and turn 1. Soviet turn 1. It was pretty basic. I just moved up all my guys. I did the dash movement on the infantry over here. This small platoon was just moved at the table, and the guys over there also dashed. Over to the West German turn. West German turn 1. The modder moved up, trying to range in on the rifleman over there, however failed due to night fighting. The rifle platoon, on the other hand, did manage to range in and kill 1 of the AK-74 teams, and causing 1 Yankee who took his info to save. And we will be right back with the Soviet turn 2. Alright, back to the Soviet turn 2. The rifle teams just moved up and opened fire upon his rifle platoon, however, failing horribly due to the bulletproof cover. The PKM team was really the only ones who could range into the rifle team over here, as well as those guys that had 1 normal rifle team that also could shoot. I only killed 1 Milan team, so it wasn't really that successful. On to German, turn 2. West German, turn 2. The mortar and the rifle teams shot at this platoon, in total killing 2 guys. Weirdly enough, the company commander's mortar didn't really do anything useful. However, that's 2 teams down. Soviet turn 3. Soviet turn 3, the sun has risen. and the reserves as well. The Heinz launched a salvo on the infantry right there, killing 2 teams. And the machine gun on this side did kill another one, so they're down to 1 team right now. The RPGs from this company decided to shoot on the mortar, effectively doing absolutely nothing. And right now the rival teams have 1 morale check to take, and after that it's the German turn. West German turn 3. The last surviving MG3 team decided to stay. That's pretty goddamn impressive if you ask me. Shooting on this company, who's gonna have to take a morale test next turn, killing 1 team. The Martyr also did a pretty impressive show of destroying 2 helicopters. I guess it's the last man standing sort of thing. Alright, for this fiasco of a turn, these guys stayed put and shot at the Martyr. With the RPG teams, I managed to bail the fucker out. And this platoon moved into the objective, contesting it at this moment. The PKM teams and the ones who could fire shot at the MG3 team, doing absolutely nothing. And the guys over there moved close to that building, however, failing to figure out how to open a goddamn door. So, I guess we're into German turn 4. West German turn 4. Second platoon has already arrived to help, and they moved up with the infantry, shooting at the Soviet infantry, killing 1 team and pinning them down. The Martyrs, on the other hand, didn't really do anything effective, and the company commander's Martyr moved back, shot at these guys, didn't do anything. But it seems like the tides are beginning to turn for the Germans. On to Soviet turn 5. Soviet turn 5. After 5 turns and continuous fire, the RPG teams finally managed to kill the company commander's vehicle. These guys did not manage to unpin and shot at the rifle platoon over here. Didn't do anything. The RPG teams from that unit shot at that mortar, managed to bail him out. And that is it for the Soviet turn. On to West German turn 5. I do believe the times have turned. West German turn 5. His 3rd platoon managed to move into the table, pouring all their anger into that poor unit over there, surviving with 1 unit. These mortars shot at the guys over there, failing. His 2nd platoon moved in and wiped out the most of the units over here. I failed my counterattack, so that poor bastard decided to run away. I am running dangerously low on troops right now. Going to Soviet turn 6. Alright, the comic relief of Soviet turn 6. The last surviving PKM team over here actually made his morale check, turned up and shot at the passive grenade platoon over there. The other guys, as you can see, are no longer around. However, they did manage to unpin, made the morale check, shot at these guys, killing 1 team, charged in after they got pinned down, and got butchered to the last man. That did not go according to plan, but I didn't really have one to begin with. So right now I have 1 PKM team, 1 command team. I'm not saying I lost it, but I did. West German turn 6. These are the last guys alive in Soviet teams. His martyrs dashed up to get ahead of the rest of the company. And the martyrs over here shot the machine guns at the last PKM team, killing him. These guys failed to unpin for unclear reasons. His company commander is still cowering in the back. And that is pretty much it for the West German turn. I think we can say it's been a major victory for them. Alright, so seeing as I only have 1 team left and I have no companies at all that survived, it's time to make a company morale test or battalion command test on a 3+. Fuck.
Kruger had been successful in defending the radio outpost with minor casualties, although he did not have the time to savor his victory, since he could hear heavy aircraft heading west above him. This was no doubt the VDV taking the airborne invasion to delay the enemy further to the west. Since the radio station was intact, he did have time to warn the battalion, and then he realized that World War III had indeed begun. The early warning gave the battalion the moment they needed. The 122nd Panzer Brigade Company was quickly rushed to the place where the enemy was most likely to land. as well as being supported by Stahlfaust tanks. Upon arriving in the area, they found the enemy being woefully unprepared for an attack. The crews had not yet mounted the BMPs, and the infantry had not really gotten themselves organized, and they were still collecting their parachutes. This gave them the moment they needed.
Alright, welcome back to the second game. At this point, the airborne divisions have landed, this being the Soviets. However, due to the early warning given to the West Germans by the first company, they managed to mass a force against it before the airborne units actually could land strike. On the Soviet side, we have two identical companies of BMP-2s, with one PKM LNG team, 4 AK-74 teams, and 3 RPG teams, 5 BMP-2s. That's the twins, so to speak. And 1 BMP-2 command unit. The BMP-2s will be starting on the table, however a bit disorganized since they haven't really gotten their bearings yet. 1 BMP-2 recon platoon. In nearby reserves is a T-64 company of 5 tanks and 2 Hinds. Over on the German side, we have a full company of Panzer Grenadiers, being 3 identical ones, 3 motors, 2 infantry teams, 1 Panzerfaust team, and 2 Milan teams. 3 of those, 1 company command team, and 1 Leopard 2 platoon. This is the board we'll play on. The Soviets will have the left side, but they will be randomly deployed since they're unorganized. The Germans will deploy on the right side. Alright, back to the deployment. The Soviets deployed in a random manner by me placing a vehicle where I wanted it and rolling a scatter dice. So we have 1 unit over here, the recon units right here, the next one is halfway into the river, and the company commander in the back. All the vehicles will be treated as bailed out for the beginning of the mission, mainly because they haven't really gotten into the vehicles and prepared to fight just yet. The West Germans, on the other hand, with the advanced warning, got the message. 1 Panzer Grenadier platoon over here, with a Milan team in that building. Another Panzer Grenadier platoon over there, with the dismounted infantry in the pond. The company commander is behind the last mounted Panzer Grenadier platoon. And as always, hindsight is 2020. I forgot to talk about reserves. Ordinary reserves, unit of Hinds, unit T-64s. For the West Germans, it's just these Leopard 2s. These guys are mounted in this unit. Over to West German turn 1. West German turn 1. Seeing as all the BMPs are bailed out, this unit lost 2 of them due to combined fire from that unit and that Milan team on the hill there. Otherwise, he has moved up all his guys, and the company commander tried to move into the house. 2 of his mortars got bogged down when trying to enter the river. And these guys moved up into these buildings and opened fire with 2 of the mortars against the scouting BMP. So at the moment I've lost 3 BMPs. On to Soviet turn 1. Soviet turn 1. Most of my BMPs, except 2 here, managed to remount. And I stayed put with the 1 company only moving up the battalion commander on this side, and the infantry. The infantry decided to shoot at his dismounted guys, killing 1 team. And all the BMPs shot at his mortars, killing 2 mortars and bailing out 1. Over on that side, the infantry moved up with the RPGs shooting at the mortars, bailing out 1. The BMPs on that side, I only managed to remount 2 of them. Open fire on the mortars, killing 1 and bailing 2. So at the moment we are pretty much on equal terms. On to West German turn 2. West German turn 2. Pretty much everything on this side of that hill opened fire on the infantry units. In total killing 1 AK-74 team and 1 RPG team. On the other hand, this mortar opened fire on the BMPs, killing 1. As well as 2 of the Milan teams shooting and killing another BMP. Over on that side, we've got some of the Milan teams destroying another BMP over there. And the rest of the guys opened fire on the infantry in the middle, that being the Panzer Grenadiers and the mortar. However, being somewhat unsuccessful. Over to the Soviet turn 2. Soviet turn 2. the infantry of this side moved up and opened fire on the mortars that were here, killing one of them. And in the assault destroyed one of the ones who were bailed out. This BMP shot over there managed to bail out another one. And the T-64s managed to arrive into the game, opening fire on this unit, and you can probably see the results. And the guys over there being the last BMP in that unit, which is not remounted because 2 of them failed, and the battalion commander's BMP shot at these guys as well without any great effect. That infantry unit moved up against the Panzer Grenadiers behind the farm, destroying 3 teams, pinning them down. And as such, it is now going into West German turn 3. West German turn 3, the Leopards decide to arrive and move up on this tail edge, which is now the location of pretty much his entire army. The guys over there, the 2 surviving teams, decide to just fuck the way off all the way over here. Now in this mortar, the Leopards and the Milan teams shot at the T-64s, in total killing 3 of them and leaving 1 bailed. And these 2 mortars shot at the last BMP over there, killing it. And the guys with the machine guns and all that stuff fired on this team, this company, reducing them to only 2 teams. Going on to Soviet turn 3. Soviet turn 3. These guys stayed put and shot at the guys in this building, did absolutely nothing. These ones moved up and together with the BMP shot at the people on this hill, did nothing. The helicopters got onto the table, shot at the Leopards, doing nothing, as well as the T-64s. And the guys in the corner over there who has been bailed out the entire game are still bailed out. On to German, turn 4. West German, turn 4. The Leopards moved up over here and did a split fire on the T-64 and the BMPs. One of the tanks did manage to kill both of the BMPs. On the other hand, they did fail to kill the T-64, but they did bail him. On the other hand, the Milan teams, with a combined fire from this unit and this unit, destroyed the remainder of them, so there's just 1 left. And the riflemen over here shot at the teams over here, didn't achieve anything, combined with the fire from those guys. And they also shot over here, but didn't kill anyone. So on to Soviet, turn 4. And we forgot to mention that the Hind got shot down by the combined fire of the remainder of the mortars. Alright, Soviet turn 4 was pretty pitiful. The machine gun over there shot over here, killed 1 team, being the Panzerfaust inside the building. All the guys over there shot over here, only achieving some pinning tests. And the Hind shot its salvo at this target here. These targets actually hitting all of them, however, only bailing out 1 of the mortars. And that's it for Soviet turn 4. Oh yeah, the T-64 didn't bother to bail out. And the guys over there managed to just scuttle their stuff because they've been bailed out the entire game and lost their morale test. On to West Germans. West German turn 5. The Milan team here didn't manage to unpin, however this platoon did. Shooting on these guys, doing nothing. And all the Milan teams shot at the T-64, only to bail him out. However, the platoon commander of the Leopards did finally kill him. And the rest of these guys also shot at the infantry, achieving nothing. And the last mortars shot at down the last Hind. So as of right now, the Soviets have 1 operational platoon. Always hindsight, 1 mortar platoon did fail his morale test and ran off the table, which is kind of funny when you're surrounded by tanks and your own mortars and your own guys and the company commander. But he did. Alright, that was a short turn. I did manage to make the company morale and platoon morale for these guys, and shooting at the platoon over here resulted in 1 kill. And that's it. That's literally the last guys of the Soviet airborne attack. West German turn 6. These guys who were there remounted up in the mortar, who dashed out over here to get to the commander. The Leopards also moved out, using 2 tanks to shoot at the infantry, killing 2 teams. And the Panzer Grenadier platoon over here also shot at them. Didn't really do that much though. This tank shot HE at the company commander, but he survived. So as of right now, I have totally of 2 teams left. Alright, I did the last heroic thing with the PKM team, shooting and attacking the Milan team that was remaining for that platoon, killing him. But getting a bit overly courageous and getting killed by the last one. The company commander decided to set an example for his men and charge at the mortar. He survived the return fire, but he didn't manage to do any damage. Heading into West German turn 7. Alright, West German turn 7. All of his leopards moved up and the infantry in the mortar dismounted. And funny thing is, the mortar failed to kill him, the infantry failed to kill him. What got him in the end was the leopards. However, he died 3 times over, so he's kind of fucked. So that was a West German victory with horrendous casualties.
After the battlefield fell silent, Messer dismounted his mortar and had a look around. The burning wrecks of what could have been mortars and what could have been BMPs stretched as far as the eye could see. The enemy simply refused to surrender and got killed to the last man. Although he knew his company was out of the fight for at least a couple of weeks, seeing as so many vehicles had been destroyed and so many men had been killed. During the days that followed, no less than 3 Soviet armored divisions had punched through the sector. This called for an immediate withdrawal for the 12th Battalion, or what remained of it. Captain Stahlfaus, commanding the 123rd Company, was given the seemingly impossible task to repel the enemy as long as possible, defending the last bridge crossing the Elbe River. Much of Hamburg has already been destroyed and captured by Soviet forces.
And on to the last game of this campaign. As you see, this is the battlefield. It's kind of a, I don't know what to call it, a village turning into a city. And there is the bridge that they're supposed to hold until turn 4, where they can destroy it by a skill test on the other side. And they are now fighting a withdrawal to make sure that the rest of the NATO forces can get out in time. On the attacker side, we have a mix of a motorized and tank battalion, with 2 Hinds, 2 companies of 5 T-72s, 3 Carnations, 2 Gophers, 5 T-64s, 2 companies of 4 BMP-2s with 4 AK-74 teams and 3 RPG teams each, 2 Recon BMP-2s, and 1 battalion commander. On the German side, we have a mainly tank-focused unit with a Leopard 2 company commander, M109 artillery pieces, 2 units of 3 Leopard 2s, 3 Jaguar 1s, 2 Roland flak batteries, 2 PAH, 1 Panzer Grenadier platoon with 2 MG3 teams, 1 Panzerfaust team, and 2 Milan teams. As the attacker, I will have the first turn. I will deploy first, and his mission is basically to delay me as long as possible, then destroy the bridge. Alright, back with the deployment. On the Soviet side, we have the Hinds on this side, with T-72s. In front of them, we've got the Recon BMP-2s. The Carnations. In front of them, we have the Gophers. More T-72s, both companies of BMP-2s, and T-64s. And the river here is not really properly representing the Elbe, given that it's a lot wider than this, but just play with the imagination at the moment. On the western side, we have a platoon of Leopard 2s, 109 artilleries, Roland flak batteries, Panzer Grenadiers dismounted, company commander, Jaguar 1s, followed by PAH, Martyrs, Leopard 2s, and that's the last one. Soviets have the initiative. Soviet turn 1. Pretty much everything moved up except the artillery and the anti-air units. These T-72s ganged up on the Leopard 2s over here, destroying 2 tanks and bailing out the last one. My Hinds moved up and tried to shoot at the Rolands, bailed out 1, whilst my Recon BMPs acted as observers to the Carnations and dropped artillery on them, doing absolutely nothing. The T-72s on this side shot at the Leopard 2s over there, same result, 2 dead, 1 bailed. The T-64s on that side shot at the Jaguars, and missed all but 1 shot, but I did actually kill 1 of the goddamn tanks. The BMPs kind of just loitered in the back of the table doing absolutely nothing, because they can't really do anything. As well as the BMP-2 commander's vehicle moved up, and he courageously decided to hide in this building. Over to West German, turn 1. Alright, West German, turn 1. The company commander, with a combined fire from the Raketenpanzer, shot at the T-64s, killing 2 of them. The PAH tried to open fire upon the Gophers, destroying one of them. However, I managed to intercept one of them and destroy them. And the Rolands tried to shoot at the one that could shoot, tried to shoot at Heinz, did nothing. And the field howitzers shot at the BMPs, destroying one of them and killing one of the infantry teams in the process. As for the Leopard 2 platoon that was damaged over here, decided to remount and flee. And that is it for the West German first turn. Alright, Soviet turn 2. I kept moving up with the entire army basically. For the T-72 that got bailed out, he still couldn't manage to get back up. These T-72s shot at the last surviving Leopard, didn't do shit. The Heinz destroyed the... they tried to shoot the anti-tank missiles against the Rolands, failed. However, the BMP recon teams did shoot their anti-tank missiles and did kill them in the end. And the T-72s on this side shot at the Jaguars, killing them and bailing out the other one. The T-64s killed the company commander, who managed to sneak out into that mortar. And the other guys just dashed up to get into the fight. Yeah, and also they all completely failed to get some of the coronations on target to the mortars. West German turn 2, sorry for that misconception there. The mortars moved up on this side, and they crossed the burnt out tank. This mortar, now belonging to the company commander, shot at the helicopters, however failed to kill them. And the artillery tried to range in on the BMPs with the help of the mortars, and failed. The combined fire from the Jaguars and the Milan teams destroyed 2 of the tanks over there. And the last Leopard Live destroyed 2 more T-72s. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, and the PAH tried to open fire but got intercepted by the Gopher. Soviet turn 3. The T-72s rushed the Leopard but just landed 1 hit and it didn't even penetrate. The helicopters shot at the infantry, killing 3 teams with the missile round. The rest of the T-72s shot at the Jaguar. The T-64s attempted that, but they failed. The BB-2s also shot at the infantry, killing 1 team. So they are now down to 1 Milan team. And the BMP recon BMPs killed the company commander. On to West German turn 3. West German turn 3 and game over. At this point, they realize it's pretty much over, so they decide to prematurely blow up the bridge, which led to my BMPs being destroyed upon it and the bridge being impassable. This did buy time for the NATO forces to withdraw, however, but not enough, so this will be considered a minor Soviet victory. And in the final moments, the Leopard 2 destroyed 1 T-72, however he bowed down, so he's left for dead basically. The artillery managed to move out, the mortars managed to move out, and the courageous little Milan team decided to blow the bridge and tried to destroy T-72, but they failed.
The 123rd Company fought courageously, but they could not stop the Soviet onslaught. Stahlhaus himself was incinerated in the blasts. Then, a lowly private took the initiative and destroyed the bridge. The surviving German forces withdrew back to the first NATO line. The 122nd and 123rd Companies were more or less entirely destroyed in the fighting withdrawal that followed. This, however, did buy enough time for the NATO forces to recover and put up a defensive line. The British and Americans quickly took up defensive positions and prepared to strike back at the Soviet invaders. The Soviets may have drawn first blood, but the NATO forces aren't broken just yet.